So having said that little bit of theory, the only other thing that you really need to know is that chords don't have to go 1, 3, 5. They can go 1, 3, 5 because that's the same note as here, but it's playing below. That's called an inverted chord. It means that the 5 might be below the third. Okay? You can play the third below the first. That's another inversion. And that's how we are able to play chords like this, all in this same little square, is that we're inverting some of them. Okay? In fact, we're inverting quite a few of them to be able to pull that off. You don't need to know too much about that.
But you're generally keeping that 3-note separation.
If you start, yeah.
You're not getting 2 notes side by side because of that
you won't,
problem.
unless you're going to...
Unless you're doing chopsticks.
I don't even know what chopsticks.
Yeah, because all the, as far as I know, the rhythms we're playing all tend to have at least one skip note. Sometimes 2, but at least 1.
There are a couple of exceptions. Rhythm of the Sun has that, and so does Mondaro. That doesn't sound as disturbing. Okay, when you've got a 5 and a 6 together, it's not as disturbing, especially in a minor chord. And you'll notice that, like in Rhythm of the Sun, we will throw... Oh, sorry. Sometimes I'll throw that 6 in... Oh, sorry. Now, on its own, that's not very pleasant, but just as an accent...
Well, it's fun, it's not bad.
So that's actually adding, again, a dominant 7th. You don't need to know too much about that, but there are options. So, Dave, in answer to your question, generally speaking, you will be keys apart.
A lot of times we're keys apart. I'm not
Yes.
saying that it's all the time, but
Right.
a lot of what we are playing,
You're
we
absolutely
tend to
right.
always skipping a key. I mean, even look at the Mondaro.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, sometimes notes are really close together.
Yep.
But if you do...
If you do this, that happens.
Well,
But again, that's that
if you
6th
do-
of the
if you
minor
do the
chords.
tenor
So.
part. If you do Mary's tenor, it's 1, 2, 3, then 2 of them are side by side,
Yeah.
and then back. But it's part of that pattern, and it's not. It may not be totally a chord.
It is a chord, it's a dissonant chord. When you got these going together, that's called dissonant. It doesn't sound that pretty unless it's in
But she's not hitting
context.
them together, she's hitting them
Right,
one after
they go
the
back
other.
and- yeah.
They're alternating.
Uh-huh.
And that's
Right.
why it's a little bit more like a melody than a chord, because she's flipping back and